Hi, I'm Cindy from bdancewear.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how to take that maxi skirt pattern that we already made, or maybe you bought in the store, and change it up a little. We're going to add in some kick pleats. This technique though works for many things besides a maxi skirt. You could use it in a shorter skirt. You could put it just in the back of your skirt. You could put it just in the front. You could put a different color in it. It is a really fun, little simple technique. It seems complicated when you see it on something, but when you see how we change up the pattern to create this kick pleat, you will be amazed, and it'll be so easy, you'll want to do it more often. So if you want to find out how to change your pattern to add in kick pleats, this is the video for you. Hi, I'm Cindy from bdancewear.com, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to take that simple A-line pattern we make and just take it up a notch. We're going to make a really cute skirt. It's the same basic idea. We've done the one where we put the band on the top. And remember, these bands you can fold over or you can have just like this. Super, super easy to do. It's going to look a little complicated, but here goes. So this one, what's a little different is there's little kick pleats in it. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's basically these. Or triangles that are cut out and put in it. Now, if you take a look at this skirt, I actually purchased this skirt, but I've duplicated it several times. That is really easy to do. It's just a little slice, and then that triangle is sewn in. So I'm going to show you by taking our basic pattern that we already made. We know we like the fit of this one. We know it fits good. So it's our A-line pattern. We're going to take it. I'm going to fold it in half. Now, what's different about this skirt is a few things. One of them is, let's fold it in half and get this down here, is this particular skirt doesn't flare out in the base of the skirt. It has kick pleats there. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make this skirt. We know this is our waist, once this is put together, this is where we want to wear it, this top line here. We know this is our hip line. So now what we're going to need to do is we're going to take that hip line and just take some of the flare off that skirt. Go ahead. Keep the hip line nice and wide. So that's going to create kind of a fitted, almost mermaid-esque feel. And then we're going to cut that straight down like that. Okay, so let's cut that out. Remember, I have this folded in half. That way you don't have to have a seam down the front when you cut it. You can cut it on the fold. Let's cut this out. Now, if you wanted more of a fitted skirt, this is where you would change it. If you wanted a little bit more of a wide on the bottom skirt, this is where you would change it. So let's say you wanted it wider. Instead of cutting here, you would just flare that out more and make that pattern covering up that gap. So then you would take this and cut this out, a whole piece like that with this piece here solid right across. So let's go ahead and move these pieces over here. So now we have this look here, not quite as wide, it's still wide, but not that big kick pleat there. So now that we have it in the center, we have to decide how high up do we want this kick pleat. Don't forget, there is an inch on the bottom for the hem. So I'm going to say, let's see on here. Let's go ahead and go, let's go 14 inches up. I like the look of that. I think that'll be a nice big kick pleat. You can go higher up, but what you want to be careful of is here's your hip, so here's your crotch area. You want to make sure it's not flaring out all the way up to your hips and just making it super loose. If that's the look you're going for, then go ahead. By all means, go up as high as you want. So we're going to just slice that open there. Now that was at 14 inches. So let's mark on the side 14 inches, which will make it 13 inches in total. So when we go to sew, you're going to want to make sure and mark right here to sew to that area and not go above. I like to always make a little notch in there, and then that way I know when I cut out the pattern, make a little notch. And for me, the easiest way to do this then is to fold it over where we've made that notch, make an ink mark, and then notch that out. Now, you're not going to cut that out when you cut your pattern, but you'll know when you get to that spot, to make a little notch so you know to sew up to that spot and stop. So now that we have that, let's go ahead and slice this open. Just straight up works. Okay, so see how that opens up? Well, then that pleat will be put in there, the little triangle. So let's go ahead and grab an extra paper. You can, like I said before, use an old sheet, use whatever you want. It's a super simple technique. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of part of this. It's just too much paper to deal with. So now we know, I'm going to fold it in half. We know we want this 14 inches tall. So let's mark that 14 inches. First, let's go ahead and mark straight across the bottom. The underneath piece kind of chunks up a little, so we're going to go there. I'm going to go here. Okay, so we have that straight. So now we're going to just connect the lines. On mine, I usually go about 7 inches. Perfect. So let's mark 7 inches. So it makes it 14 because it's folded in half. You could go wider, you could go smaller, whatever you want. I think 14 inches gives it a little bit of movement, but it's not crazy. So we'll go from this point down. See how it made a triangle? Now, the thing is that this point is going to be longer. So let's make that 14 inches also, right there. And then if you put this tip on here, you put this on the 14 and slide it around, it'll give you the right angle. So I'm not sure if you saw how I did that. We keep the tip in the same spot, so it's 14 and slides around 14. You can use a string, whatever you want to create that correct angle. Let's cut this out now. And that works the same on the big skirt also. You can use a string if you want to cut it exactly and perfect and don't want to wait till you go to hem it to make sure the sides line up. But I always like to, on the actual skirt itself, really always double check the angles once you put it on, because the way it flows over your hip or your bottom or whatever might be a little different. So make sure it looks even. Okay, let's throw that in the trash can. So what that gave us is pieces like this. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and you'll sew the skirt together to here on each side. Then you'll have a slice here, slice here, slice here. So that gives you 6 spots. Is that right? 1, 2, oh, I'm sorry, 4 spots where you will put this triangle in. So that means you have to cut 4 of these for every skirt you make. And what you'll end up doing, I'll show you when I show you how to put this together, is you will end up sewing this triangle piece in like that. And because it's not stiff paper, it's gonna flare out just like that. Right there. So it's really that simple and really that easy to add pleats in. And if you want to add more in, just make more slices. Just think about it before you start slicing up how much flow you really want. But it's really that easy. Have fun, enjoy, and make yourself one of these pleated skirts.
Thank you for watching our video. And if you enjoyed it, make sure and click here to subscribe, because we're going to have some amazing DIY videos coming out. And if you want to get our free, complete dance costume DIY guide, click right here or go to bdancewear.com/DIY guide. And lastly, if you have any questions or ideas for future videos, please leave it in the comments below. Thanks again for watching our video. And remember, be original, be colorful, be dancewear.com.